Good morning. Deciding to do our practice outside this morning. So again, let's take a comfortable seat. We'll close the eyes. So if you're sitting in a chair, your 2 feet are flat on the floor. Wherever you're sitting, have a sense of the length of your spine. You could take a few deeper breaths just to support that decompression and expanding of that space. Let's start with a few deeper breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth if it's possible. The idea, particularly as you exhale, of releasing any residual tension or stress. And you can work with the tension or stress that you're aware of, but we're also holding these unconscious layers, these layers we're maybe not in contact with or aware of. And the intention can also allow those to begin to soften and release. Stay with that breath. And the belly relaxes, softening in the jaw. You could even just move your jaw around a little. And you get to notice if there's any tension in there that you can begin to release. The eyelids could become heavier. These are all simply ways of just tuning into where we hold little pockets of tension in the body and inviting them to relax. And as we do that, it's as if the energy and information that moves throughout our system is allowed to come back into balance. So as our body moves in the direction of being more open, more relaxed, it becomes a much more comfortable place to reside for our awareness, our consciousness to reside. And quite often the struggle with being in our bodies is that they do and can hold a lot of tension. And on an unconscious level, we're simply looking to get away from that tension. And it creates this kind of catch-22 in which we're, in a sense, disconnecting from ourselves because we have become an uncomfortable place to be aware of. So as we quieten, as we begin our practice, as we close our eyes, as we sit quietly, we're working that awareness muscle, that sensitivity muscle, where we're just beginning to tune into what is actually here for us this morning. And part of that experience may well be uncomfortable or distracted or noisy, or there could be a myriad of experiences that might arise for us. And as I've said before, the idea, the intention is to allow whatever needs to be there to be there. That whatever is moving through us at any given moment is never more than we can handle. I know that's a big statement to make, and quite often it doesn't feel like that. But I will say it nonetheless. Whatever is moving through us is never more than we can handle. So this is the opportunity to support the part of us that holds the full experience of what we are. As you come close to your breath, as you notice your breath, maybe you can hear the sound of the birds. And this is the beautiful thing about the breath and the birds, is they are unutterably themselves. The breath always comes back to its natural rhythm. It's connected to this bigger pulsation of life, and intuitively continually realigns to it. And the birds are the same. The birds are fully here, fully in this moment. So the parts of us that tend to wander, become distracted, get lost, use these things as crumbs along the path, as ways of directing ourselves, back to this moment, back into a place of greater spacious awareness. So the breath and the sound of the birds. Be with the sensation of your breath. And let's begin to deepen the breath very comfortably. Long, deep inhalation from the belly right up to the top of the chest. And then a slow, comfortable exhalation. No part is pushed or forced. As you're breathing, you're noticing that uniformity throughout the entire breath. The breath is deeper, but it is by no means uncomfortable. Slow and steady. If you can breathe through the nose, please do that. Stay with this longer, comfortable, slow breath. On the top of your next inhalation, can you take a moment just to pause quietly, softly, then beginning the exhalation, and take a moment at the end of that also to pause. So we're aware of and connected to this slow, long, deep breath. We're aware of the pause between the breaths, and we continue in this way. Stay with your breath. So there are moments when the breath is enough, when we are the practice. And then, of course, there's going to be moments where the breath isn't enough, where the mind will wander, and that's all perfect. And each time you become aware that you've wandered, there's no story, there's no drama, there's no issue. You just come back to your breath. Slow, long, deep breaths, pausing in between. Keep coming back to your breath. Let's do 3 more rounds of this deeper breath, 3 more inhalations, exhalations, and pauses. And after the last pause, after the last exhalation, you let the breath return to its natural rhythm. So in Buddhism, they talk of the ground of being. It's this place within ourselves that is at every moment deeply content, which is quite a radical, out there concept for a lot of our rational minds. Even when the going is tough or we're in a difficult situation, there is a part that is still content, that isn't ruffled by the experience. Now, it doesn't negate that there is part of us that does get ruffled and does experience a myriad of emotions, both ecstatic and we could say negative or difficult. And that's all there. And that's the human experience, the relative experience. And we're not trying to push or close any of that down or deny any of that. In fact, we are invited to feel that as richly and as fully as we can. And yet at the same time, our practice is cultivating a connection to that deeper, stiller place. So that in some way, as we deepen our awareness of this space, as we move into this space, our capacity to meet the difficulties is supported in some way. So that idea that support, what we need, is in there, and our practices are just ways of accessing and connecting to and being aware of these deeper qualities within ourselves. And okay, so we're going to make a little bit of sound for the last few moments of our practice this morning. Again, if you're in a kind of a public arena and you want to make the sound internally, that's perfect. Very simple. The sound is Om. We've done it before. The sound is defined as the sound which represents the creating force behind the universe. There's a beautiful story of Siddhartha, the Buddha, as he awoken by the river, hearing this sound permeating through the river and through the wind and the leaves. But this is the sound that is continually happening all around us. So we make this sound to attune to this sound. As we make the sound, it moves through us. The waves, the sound creates, the radio waves move through us, through ourselves, and create a rebalancing and a retuning. Okay, so we take a deep inhalation. So as you're making the sound, particularly the kind of the second half of the sound as the lips come together, really feel the vibration that creates. So that vibration is designed to move through the skull and create dilation, release tension. Three more. Belly soft, natural breath, sounds of the birds. So we bring the hands together in front of the heart. So some days our practice will be easier than others. Some days we're more connected to the distraction or aware of the distraction. And I encourage you to persevere. For a moment, could we think about this idea of gratitude? Maybe a remembrance or a memory of when we last felt it, or maybe somebody or something pops into our mind when we hear the word gratitude. And focusing on that space of the heart, that space in the chest, seeing if we can cultivate the feeling or connect to the feeling of gratitude in the body. And if you can feel that feeling, imagine you could breathe into it. Maybe it's gratitude for this very moment, for the sound of the birds, for the simplest of things. Maybe it's gratitude for no particular reason. And maybe take us forward into our day. And then to ourselves, the life that moves through us, and to each other, the life that moves through each of us. And we'll bow. Beautiful. Okay, release the hands. Lift the chin, open the eyes. So I wish you a great day. I hope it's a good day for you. Easter Saturday for some of you. Easter Saturday may be long gone for others. But wherever you are, I wish you the very best. And I will see you tomorrow. All right. Take care. Bye.